Hello. So today's going to be another short episode, and this one's touching on, well, is it hard for you to really truly make changes on your journey because you don't have the support from your husband, from your kids? Or you might have the support, but they're not willing to follow suit. They're not willing to do it with you. Like, you are a reflection of your environment and the people that you spend time with. You can have all the good intentions, but it's just like saying, I want to look like this, I want to achieve this, but never actually, it's like wanting to create a recipe. You can see what is inside the recipe, but you're not dismantling the recipe to see what actual ingredients you need to create it. And then you're not going to be doing the shopping. You just say you want these intentions. Or another way of viewing it is, okay, you got the recipe, you know what you need to do to create this recipe, because it seems simple. Like, it's simple. So you know the ingredients. You get in the car, your husband's the driver, and he drives you to the candy store, versus the grocery store where you can actually get the shit you need for the recipe. So you end up making a completely different recipe than what your intentions once were. There is a very good way of viewing it. And here is the thing. You can willpower your way there all you want. It ain't gonna work. You can say you need discipline. That ain't gonna work. You can set a short time frame, do extreme things. That will work for some of you for a little while, and then you'll just end up back where you started, probably worse. And you'll keep getting worse because you'll keep developing less trust in yourself, less faith in your ability, and then you'll start to develop a failure mindset. And it's just like trying to start a car without the keys. So, or without, and a car that doesn't have that thing where you like press the button and it turns on, because I figured out there's like cars that exist that do that. Weird. Anyway, think about it that way. But what you can do is look at the recipe that you're trying to create. Look at where you want to go. Now, figure out what action steps you need to take to get there. But you need to be realistic with yourself. You need to set things that are hard to fail, easy to do, the smallest steps, and then you need to realize exactly how this is going to benefit you. But if you're only focused on freaking moving away from looking a certain way, like you don't want to look fat, you don't want to feel fat anymore, you don't want to be uncomfortable in your jeans, you don't want to feel disgusting in your clothes, you want to have more confidence in the bedroom, you want to be able to have the confidence to explore in the bedroom, but your lack of body image impacts that. Your lack of self-worth, your constant thoughts of how much you hate your body impacts that. So you keep it so vanilla. You won't even have date night because you're not putting time into yourself. Or maybe you do have date night, but instead you punish yourself and it's like, oh, fucking eat everything, mate. Sorry, Aussie me. But, you know, it impacts so many different things, and then it's just this vicious cycle. And then you'll get moody with your kids because you haven't been giving to yourself. It also worsens PMS symptoms, because if you're not giving your body the right nourishment it needs, you're going to have very shitty periods, if you even get them. And the pill's a completely different story. That's why we need to reframe. Think about everything it's going to give you outside of this freaking weight goal, outside of this physical goal, because that's going to make everything so much harder for you. And that never really is the goal. It really isn't. Why do you want that? It's to get out of where you're feeling right now. And what is that? Stop focusing on that shit and start focusing on how you want to feel. You want to feel empowered. You want to feel confident. You want to actually start having a life and enjoying life and not feeling so tight in a cage, hating everything about this and that, and then having moments of, yeah, well, there are people that are in denial and they don't really care. Like, you don't know how good you can feel until you actually feel it. And that is so true. It's just like people who get really shit sleep. They say they're fine until they have a really freaking good night's sleep and they're like, holy shit, mate. Except sometimes you may actually wake up feeling worse because your body's just like, what the fuck? And it overcompensates. But the whole message is, you need to dismantle your goal. You need to dismantle it. It's kind of like food, because it's never about the food. It's the feeling that the food gives you. Well, it's never really about the goal. It's about what the feeling of the goal gives you. Remember that. Because then it makes the process so much easier. And then you become a better person. The family sees that. You start to change your body. The family sees that. You start to become a role model. They start to want to change. It won't be straight away. But that's where you stay focused on the process. And you start asking yourself better questions, which we never do. I'm always the one asking my girls, how did that make you feel? Sometimes I don't even freaking get an answer. It's like, okay, cool. We're not willing to sit with our feelings. But remember that. Remember that. Because that is your key. That is your key to keeping any results. Because there is really no end goal. There never has been. Because we will never actually be 100% satisfied with where we are. We always want more. We're human. Unless you just want to stay still and have no joy in life. But I don't even know what I wanted at first anymore. I forget half the goals I used to set. I still set them here and there. Not gonna lie. But I end up changing my mind 100 million times. And that's okay, because I don't really care. Like, I'm enjoying everything. I always check in. If I feel good, great. If I don't, I'll change something about it. Like right now, I'm just like, I feel good because I'm sticking to what I do. Like, I'm training. I'm focusing on strength. Actually, I lie. I didn't feel good. But that was my own doing. Because, well, actually, no. It's COVID. Stuck in my bedroom training on squishy floor. I didn't really want to risk lifting heavy shit. But now I'm entering a strength phase. I realized I didn't want to feel weak anymore. I didn't want to feel like I'm just doing sets and sets of shit that wasn't really fueling me during lockdown. So I changed to some strength. That's in my control. My food hasn't changed. My macros are exactly the same. In fact, pretty sure my carbs are going to be increasing soon. Because I actually want a growth phase. And they won't be increasing too much because I like sitting in and around maintenance, which is a range. So I'll probably just add in some carbs to each meal. I don't really overhaul much. The more you give yourself with variety, with choices, the more overwhelmed you will feel. The harder it will be to keep on going. And that's one of the biggest things I find when people fail, in quotation marks, with food. When people struggle to get results. It's like the buffet effect or the cafe effect. It's like you want everything. You see everything. And the more that you overwhelm yourself with trying to fit whatever it is, or being tempted by whatever it is, and not actually just... It's a process. It is a process. I used to do the same thing. That will be coming up in my next episode. But as soon as you simplify, realize you can have anything you want. Anything. But not everything. Not at once. It's just like people at the gym. If they try to improve everything, they improve nothing. Because it doesn't work that way. I actually almost started to slide into that same mindset during lockdown. Like, oh, I want to improve everything now. It doesn't work that way. So I accepted, okay, maybe right now I won't focus on my arms. I'll just focus on my delts, my back, and my chest. And just do those 3 for my upper body workouts. And then I'll do less back. More arms. More delts. Maybe just push-ups for chest. Or maybe just keep one exercise for chest, which I do anyway. I don't really do that much for chest. It's a very big focus on back and delts. So, I hope that helps. Love you all. And I'm not going over my 10 minutes again. Hope that helped.